Hitting the boiler room instantly qualifies you to fall asleep, progressing right into the nightmare to fight off Freddy. If you don't hit the boiler room, you can naturally enter in a nightmare mode just by time itself. Like the simple concept in real life, if you stay awake too long, you're bound to fall asleep. Actually a really neat feature that got programmed into the game itself if you ask me. While you're in the awake state, your job is to collect items to help you survive, stay awake longer, or help you beat off Freddy once you've entered a nightmare. We will get into the objects to collect in a minute, but a side note that plays an important role is the meter that is in the back again. If you don't hit the boiler room right off your very first plunge, this meter will slowly work its way down to the asleep metric, which will begin your next nightmare. Hence the time aspect that we just covered. You can prevent this meter from draining by collecting some various objects or items on the playfield. These objects can be found such as coffee, alarm clock, more power, and Krugerrands, if I'm actually saying that one correct. Coffee, once collected, will increment the meter one notch towards the awake state, helping to prevent you from falling asleep. Kind of like what coffee does IRL, it helps you stay awake at that boring 9-to-5 job. If your meter reaches to the fully awake state indicated by the very top light, then you as the player are now fully awake, and the captive ball located in the top right by the boiler room is strobing, and the hidden mode can be qualified by hitting this shot, either from your left flipper or Freddy's glove flipper, which we'll explain how that works in a minute, and it's near impossible to hit, by the way, from this glove flipper. So the hidden mode is only available once the awake meter has been maxed out, as we had just mentioned, so make those coffee shots. If you happen to set the alarm clock prior to entering a nightmare, then 5 seconds before the nightmare is over, which will be indicated by the timer on your DMD screen, the boiler room is qualified to grab Freddy. If you manage to pull off the boiler room shot within the 5 seconds, then the nightmare progresses back into the awake state and you have successfully defeated Freddy in that nightmare. If you acquire more power, your next nightmare you enter will have greater damage with each Freddy shot. In other words, every time you now hit a spot with the Freddy icon, you will do 3 damage to Freddy, indicated by the upper meter versus the standard 2.